Okay, so I just wanted to welcome everybody to today's presentation. A couple of housekeeping things just before we begin. If you could just keep your mutes or your mics on mute as the presentation is going on, and then feel free, you could unmute yourself to ask David any questions that you have. Or if you feel more comfortable and want to use the text chat, you're more than welcome to do that, and I could let David know when there's some questions there. So I would just like to welcome back our keynote speaker today, David Cohen from the David Cohen Group. He's going to be speaking on the power of beliefs. So welcome, David.
Thanks. Good afternoon. Why do I feel it's the morning? It's the afternoon. It's just because it was the morning. Welcome, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen. I got a couple of things to share, so here goes. Is that working? Sharing screen? Yeah. Okay. And I just have to, hang on, I just got to set up the PowerPoint. And when we'll rock and roll. There we go. Okay. So power beliefs. I'm really happy to see so many people. And before we start, can you just everybody do a quick intro? So Tracy and then Courtney. Just who are you? What are you up to?
I'm Tracy. I'm the owner of Ecological Landscapes Consulting and Design and Project Management.
Beautiful. Welcome to you. Courtney.
Hi, everybody. My name is Courtney Tom. I live in Thunder Bay. I was just looking on the Thunder Bay CEDC website and came across this workshop, so I registered. And yeah, I work at Anishinaabe Ski Nation as a training program manager.
Excellent. Welcome.
Here, I'm not here with my organization. I'm here just on my lunch break.
Okay, good. Welcome to you. See, my lunch break, I used to go home and watch the Flintstones. You know, this is the difference between younger people now. They're more, they want to learn and study. We just watch garbage. Anyway, welcome to you, and Courtney, and welcome, and Andrea, and then Sherry.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I'm Andrea, and I'm from the Ottawa area originally, and this really interested me, and so I signed on for the meeting today.
Welcome. I grew up in Ottawa, so I know it well. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrea. And Sherry, and then Carol.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sherry Whitehurst. I live in the Thunder Bay area, and I'm just in my very early stages of starting up a business. I'd like to make artesian ice cream and many derivatives of that to offer to the area.
Wow. Sweet. This is something I'm going to have to try. You know that. So
come on over.
All right, you're on. Carol, and then Karen.
I'm Carol. I'm the owner of Driver's Ed for You in the North Bay area. During the first COVID, I did an online driving school and giving online on how to drive, defensive driving. And I also opened a couple of Shopify store, Eco Grid Living, living off the grid, emergency, and so on. I have a few other hats in Wise Distribution and Shell Aviation up at the airport in North Bay. So busy little woman, multiple sources of income is the way to go.
Yeah, way to go. I remember you from last year too. So Carol's a success story. So you want to get to know her for sure. And is it, who's next? Oh, Karen.
Hi, everybody. I'm here in Thunder Bay as well. And I am just in the initial stages of starting a business doing social network mapping and analysis. It's work I've been doing for a number of years. So I'm just kind of creating a business framework and looking for support, really. So I reached out to Pero and I found out about these Wednesday webinars, and the topic of this one looked really interesting. So here I am.
Excellent. Welcome to you and good luck in your journey.
Thanks.
And Deborah and then Angie.
Hi, I'm Deborah Bear. I'm the owner of Serenga Bee. I provide office solutions for small businesses, primarily administrative support. And I've joined Paro through a friend who's been with them for quite a few years and found it to be very supportive and interesting. And I enjoy the Wednesday webinars as well. So,
Excellent.
and yours it looked very interesting today as well.
Yeah, thanks, Deborah. And so are you a virtual assistant or do you go into?
I can do both. Well, right now,
Yeah.
virtual, but I also do training for office use software like Microsoft or any of the other products, Google and Mac.
Excellent. Good stuff.
And I have done that before the closure. I started doing that in-house at their own homes.
Yeah, and now you can do it remotely like we're doing today. So
yes.
Yeah, good stuff. Angie, welcome to you.
Hi, thanks, David. Hi, everyone. My name is Angie Lynch. I'm from Thunder Bay, and I'm fairly new to Paro as well. I'm just in the initial phases of starting my own business. I'm by employment for many years a trainer and a facilitator, and I'm also a tarot card reader. So I'm combining my love of both into a business. I'm like I said, just in the early phases, and I was very intrigued by as a trainer and a facilitator, David. I really love watching other trainers and facilitators. So I've really been enjoying the Wednesday webinars as well.
All right. Do you want to pull a card? Will this go well today? Or?
I'm sitting at my desk right now at my tarot desk.
Okay.
So let's just see.
Okay,
oh yes, definitely going to go good today.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of like material and spiritual information here, like stuff that we can use and apply, but it's also coming from spirit. So thank you.
Did I get the 2 of Cups or
the 2 of Pentacles?
Ah, pretty good.
Are you a reader?
But I know about it. That's great. Thanks, Angie. Lori, did you go? Yeah. Maybe?
Nope, I didn't go.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Lori Miller. I am born and raised in North Bay, Ontario, and just did a move to the New Liskeard area. And my business is Simple with Elegance, and I help women bring out their inner sparkle through teaching them how to accessorize and look good and feel great. And I'm here, I'm excited. Always learning, love to learn, and excited for today's session. And yes, Paro has been fantastic for myself as well. And with the growth and change and expansion in my business, I'm looking forward to all the ideas and help we can get.
Excellent. Welcome to you. And last but not least, I think Sam, do you want to just say a quick hi?
My name is Sam. I'm in the Durham region. With the COVID happening, I just published my first book in February. And right now I'm working with Lori to kind of figure out ins and outs. My background is management and facilitating. So I'm working with Lori to kind of figure out what my next steps are and where I'm going. So I do like the Wednesday webinars, and I've been to one of yours already, and I find them really interesting. So I'm back.
Oh, thanks. Good. I didn't screw up the first time. Somebody else just came in. iPhone Margaret. Do you want to just say a quick hello, Margaret, and introduce yourself? No? Okay. We'll come back. You can maybe write in the chat. So let's get going because time is not on our side. There we go. Okay. So May 26th already, Power Beliefs. This is for Paro. It's really important to just watch your thoughts because they do become things, especially now. Apparently there's this sort of quickening energy. And tonight, this is for my tarot reader in the room. We have a super full moon and we have an eclipse. So things, the planets can affect our thoughts. And so really choose wisely. I get in the habit of having a morning ritual, and it's based on a book by Hal Elrod called the Miracle Morning. And not sure if you can see this, but I write down my gratitude journal on the left, and on the right, I write affirmations, and I do that every day. And I just find it's just a nice way to start off the day really powerfully. And then, I go on a walk like today and some stretching because at my age, you got to stretch or you get stuck. If you ever do yoga, you get stuck. Um, anyway, so thoughts do become things, and you can expect really big miracles to manifest in your life simply by managing the thoughts that you have in your mind. And, you know, this is like a really simple thing and you've heard it. But if you have a negative thought, just check it and go, where did that come from? Right. And what can I do to replace it? So just let it go. Let it go. Lose the attachment to your thought, the negative thoughts. Or, sometimes we get like anxiety or fear about our business. Is it going to go well? Where's that coming from? Because when you just be in the moment today, everything's okay. Your business is fine. You're growing it. You're doing the things you're doing to learn and improve yourself. So it's really important to just manage the thoughts, right? So you can expect really big miracles to manifest 25% more often when you learn to manage your thoughts, but also to learn to visualize. There's a really good book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. And he talks about visualizing the things you want to have in your life, visualizing the future you want, seeing it happen in your mind's eye, really replacing negative thoughts, negative beliefs with a positive vision for what you want. So this book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma, I read years ago at a time that was in my life, it was a bit of a personal challenge. I went through a divorce, and that wasn't fun. And I also lost a job, and that wasn't fun. And all within like 2 months. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what's next for me? So you can imagine my thinking was, it's not going to get better. This is like rock bottom, right? But I read this book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And in it, as I said, he talks about the importance of visualizing and replacing your negative beliefs, your negative thoughts with something more positive, more powerful. So this is February 1999. And I read the book. And as I said, end of February 1999, I just lost my job 2 months before that in December. The divorce went through. It was like really, really a challenging time, right? And I would visualize myself for some reason teaching in a classroom. And you have to back at that time, I'd never taught a thing in my life, right? You're probably going, yeah, he still hasn't. But seriously, so I'd never taught a program in my life, and I was in marketing and sales and promotions. I really wanted to get out of that industry. Since there was like all this upheaval, it was like a good time to make that move. So I would go to bed every night after reading this book, and I would visualize me teaching in a classroom. And for whatever reason, I saw myself teaching, and the walls in the classroom were light pink. Light pink. This is crazy. It's not my color. And anyway, fast forward in April of that year, I applied, or March of that year, because I was unemployed. I applied for a program similar to what Para is doing, but it was then called the Self Employment Assistance Program, the SEAP program. And I applied to start my own business back then. And I wanted to do the marketing promotions I did, but also with training. Anyway, there we are. I got into the program. We started in May. We were learning like you were doing, you're doing today, and on Wednesdays. And in the middle of the program, they brought in a teacher to teach about advertising. And so there were like 30 of us in the classroom. All of us had just lost our jobs or had been unemployed. That was the prerequisite to be in the program. You had to be unemployed, collecting EI, or what was called a reach back. So here we are, we're all sort of having gone through EI, and we all now want to start a business as our career plan. And so the teacher taught about advertising on radio and on TV and on newspapers. And we all, at the end of the class, going, man, that was a waste of 3 hours. And the reason why was none of us could afford this. Because to advertise in, especially I'm in the GTA, the Toronto area, to advertise in the Toronto area on radio, you're looking at maybe for a good radio station, at least $150 to $200 per 30-second commercial. And like a full page ad, just even in those little weekly papers, those little neighborhood newspapers, that was at least 2,500, right? And TV advertising, well, whew, right? And the thing with advertising is you got to go long and you got to go hard. That's a marketing lesson, and which means you have to commit to the long term. You can't just buy a few ads and hope. That's not going to really cut it, and you'd be wasting your money. Anyway, so we all complained, and I went up to the woman that ran the program, Eileen McIsaac was her name, and I said, I have an idea for a marketing workshop, but it's called Marketing on a Shoestring. Would you be open to that? And this is like now July timeframe. And she said, yeah, sure, send me a proposal. Okay, cool, working on it. And I gave her the proposal, and she said, yeah, I like it. We'll hire you. So I got to teach the very program I was in. And on September, 7th, the day after Labor Day weekend, I taught my first ever training program back in September 7th, 1999. And it was marketing on a shoestring, and it went really well. And I got paid pretty nicely at that time. It was $100 an hour. And the walls were, any guesses what color the walls were in that classroom? You can write in the chat if you want. They were light pink. Crazy. Yep, light pink. You got it. And not my color still. But that's the power of your thoughts and your beliefs. So I really encourage you to get in the habit of visualizing your future, right? Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it. Visualize, see yourself. See, he says to have a new personal reality, you must change your personality, right? So really important. I love those, the visualization and coincidences, and when you see good things happening, and I love that line in the movie When Harry Met Sally, I'll have what she's having. Like, she's having such a good time, enjoying her sandwich at that restaurant. The woman sitting down from her said, I'll have what she's having. So this is really important to get in the habit of visualizing. So your beliefs, really what it is, by definition, it's a feeling of certainty about what something means, right? And we're meaning-making machines. We give meaning to everything. And I remember doing a training program a long time ago that kind of got me into this interest in training and coaching, the work I do now. And it was landmark education. And they said that, our beliefs are meaningless and empty. And we all went, what? And they said, no, it is. And we were like just incensed by this. How can you make our beliefs mean nothing? They said life is meaningless and empty. And in a way, as you look at it, they are, because we give meaning to things based on our own experiences. So our beliefs are things that come from our own experience, right? So beliefs create the maps that guide us toward our goals and give us power to take action. Our limiting beliefs, oh, I'm not going to make it, I'll never succeed, I'm not good enough, right? Those come at a time when we were just growing up. We were kids, and we formed this belief, and we still hung on to it. So now is a really magical time to let go of those limiting beliefs and choose ones that are going to be empowering, that can drive us toward the life we want to live. And that's what beliefs really are about. They're malleable. You can change them. You don't have to hang on to your limiting beliefs. Like, who said it's true, right? Why do you believe your limiting beliefs? Who said that about you? Can you change it? Can you shift the limiting beliefs that maybe stop you from moving forward, stop you from making that extra cold call, that stop you from pricing the way you want to price, right? Watch those limiting beliefs and choose an empowering beliefs so that it will drive you toward the life you want to live and the business you want to create. So, what is a goal that you have and have always wanted to achieve and haven't? Why haven't you? I invite you to explore that, because whatever that reason is, there's always a limiting belief behind it. So the first step in replacing old disempowering beliefs with new empowering beliefs is to understand the 5 places our beliefs come from. And here they are. One is our environment. So maybe we grew up in a toxic environment. Free yourself from the story that you're a product of your environment. You're not. And, they've done studies after studies of people that have grown up in really horrible environments, but they transcended their beliefs. I'm not sure if you've heard of Man's Search for Meaning by the late Dr. Viktor Frankl, but he was, held prisoner in a Nazi concentration camp during the Second World War. And he said, they can hold me captive. They can do all kinds of things to me, but they don't control my beliefs. They don't control my thoughts. And so in his work moving forward, this is what he did. He became a doctor and a psychologist and did logos therapy, all about not being a product of your environment. Other examples include Jim Quick. This is a book you might want to get. It's the author of Limitless. And he was told he had, sorry, typo there, he had I got an extra A, he had a learning disorder, but he overcame it. Or a female speaker and pilot, Jessica Cox, look her up. She was born with no arms, but managed to fly an airplane with her feet. Incredible woman, right? So these are stories of people who have transcended their environment. I'm just going to check the chat. Hey, Sam, good, yes. So, here's another. The day you got married, the birth of your child, the big promotion, the death of a loved one, even terrorist attacks. Every event impacts our lives profoundly, causing us to form beliefs, right? We form beliefs about everything, often unconsciously, but they do affect our worldview. So can you think of an event that has impacted you in a positive or negative way? Anybody want to comment on that? You want to unmute or write in the chat? What's an event that's impacted you in a positive or negative way? I'm just going to check chat. Yeah, good. COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It actually, it impacted me in a way that I got to spend more time with my kids because we're off together.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit crazy, but, and then it allowed me to write my books. So I did have the time then to spend doing something that I really wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So this time has really affected all of us, some for the best, some for maybe not so good, right? Sean writes, and hey, Sean, welcome to you. A severe head injury had an impact, right? And then you start to form a belief about it. Even your business, you have a belief about it. Hey, I think I'm going to start this idea, right? And you form a belief, and then you do your research, and all of a sudden, hey, I think I can do this, right? So just watch the events. So your environment, your events, these are things that help you form your beliefs. And you can either stick with them or let them go and choose another possibility, right? You have that choice. So you can either sink or swim or get wrapped up or move forward regardless of what's happening. So I'm just going to play an audio clip here for you. And this is author, speaker, coach Mel Robbins. Not sure if you've heard of her. This is about a 3-minute clip. And I hope you can hear it as I play it. She's great. This came out a few years ago in Success Magazine, which was a magazine for successful thinking. But she wrote a book called The 5-Second Rule. And the 5-Second Rule is about changing your limiting beliefs and your thoughts about things in your life. And she basically states, to simplify it, in the 5-second rule, that if you outthink a decision you've got to make, and you think longer than 5 seconds about it, chances are you're not going to do it. And but the adverse to that is if you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and act, irregardless of your beliefs, irregardless of how you feel, that's when good things happen. So here she's talking to Darren Hardy, the publisher, the then publisher of Success Magazine, about shifting your thinking. And then we're going to continue on. This is about 3 minutes. Enjoy.
So, Matt, I love this quote from your book. Each time you push through, you're making a long-term investment in yourself. Talk to us about that for a minute, because this is the reward on the end of the other side of the line by doing the hard work of taking that action in the 5 seconds, going against what your brain is telling you. So talk to us about the long-term benefits of all this.
You got it. Because the one takeaway, Darren, from all the research that I've done and all the science that's in the book is that if you want to change anything about your life, just do the things that you don't feel like doing. It really does boil down to that. You're never going to feel like doing the things you need to do to have what you want. Your mind isn't wired that way. It will try to make you feel like things are too big. It'll try to make you feel like things are too scary. It'll try to make you feel like now's not the time. And so if you push through those feelings and take action, even though you don't feel like it, you'll have everything. The compound effect that you write about, Darren, will start to take hold. This whole book is about tricking people into how to take action. That's what this is about. And so, the thing about that rule that's very important, Darren, is that over time, you've built a muscle to not listen to yourself. You've built the muscle of taking anti-actions, actions like surfing the web instead of making cold calls, actions like watching TV instead of doing research, actions like sitting around and putting stuff in your Twitter account that's nonsense instead of getting your butt out the door and going off and networking with people that might potentially help you with the business you want to launch. You've filled your schedule with so much stuff that isn't important that's squeezed all the time out of your schedule. So now you have a convenient excuse of not doing anything. And the excuse of that you don't have any time. And so I think it's really important that what you realize about your life is that you're never going to feel like it. And if you start to push forward and take action anyway, it's like any other muscle. Over time, you slowly start building the muscle of taking action. You start building the muscle of not listening to your own crud. You start building the muscle of ignoring what your mind is telling you and operating from your desires instead of your fears. You start building the muscle of acting strategically instead of acting emotionally. And you can retrain your brain. Absolutely. After a month of waking up and not hitting the snooze alarm, do you think it's going to be hard or easy? It's going to be easy. And the reason why is because by doing it every morning, you've made a long-term investment in yourself. You've built muscles that make you powerful and successful instead of maintaining the ones that keep you stuck.
So, Matt, I love this quote from your book. Each time you push through, you're making a long-term investment.
Okay. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? I would invite you to check Mel Robbins out on YouTube. She's quite active. And I'll tell you, she showed up big and real during this past year and 3 months on YouTube. She had a meltdown. She had an anxiety attack, and she went live on YouTube right during and after her anxiety attack, just to share her feelings and her emotions. And she's just a great speaker. So we talked about your environment and events. The other thing that shapes your belief is knowledge. Knowledge is not always power. Knowledge is potential power. So applied knowledge is a dynamic tool in knocking down the walls of limiting beliefs. So I really encourage you, what she said, become a lifelong learner instead of watching TV or, entering things in Twitter. Learn, research, read a book, whatever. Seek knowledge with a laser focus. Put yourself in proximity with people who know more about things than you do. So they always say, what do they say? You're the product of your 5 best friends. So maybe have a best friend who's really successful and learn from them. Model what you like about that person. Learn from what they're doing well, right? And take what they're doing and apply it to your own life, your own business, your own experience. So model the best and learn from their experience so that you can create beliefs that will compel you to succeed. I'm just going to go into the chat, and Margareta says, I watched her all year. She's good. Oops, I sent this to the wrong person by accident. No, it's fine. Thanks, Margareta. And she is great. So, yeah, check out Mel Robbins on YouTube. The other thing is question what you know. So, I got a little picture here, and this is based on a book called The Learner Mindset by Dr. Marilee Adams Goldberg, who, when I took my coaching course at Adler School, we learned about this learner-judger mindset. So a learner-judger mindset asks open-ended questions. So it's really important for you to start asking, the who, what, when, where, why, and how of your business, of your life, how things work, how your business works, or how do you, get to where you want to do? Who else has gotten there, right? So you want to have a learner mindset as opposed to a negative judger mindset. A judger mindset is trying to find fault. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with them? Why am I a failure? They're judging. And you don't want to be in a judgment mindset. You want to be open, to new ideas, to possibilities, to a different way of thinking. So you want to be asking learner questions to avoid the judger pit, which can be not a good place to be in because it's looking for what's wrong, whereas a learner mindset is looking for possibility and what's right. So question what you know. Let go of the past. We all create beliefs around the past, of past achievements or failures. Man, I failed then, it's going to happen again. Really? Not doesn't happen like that for everybody. But past results don't equal future results. Build on certainty and confidence. Learn from your past. That's the learner mindset. Learn, what did I do that I could improve, right? What did I do then that maybe I need help on now, right? Maybe I took on too much back then. And so this time I'm going to get help. I'm going to hire people, or I'm going to get a virtual assistant to help me. I think there's somebody in the group that's pretty good. So build on your confidence and start small. Stack those small wins on top of the other, and boy, you start to really good things start to happen. I teach sales, and I'm a big believer of making prospecting calls. Now, am I suggesting you do that all day long and you don't get up out of your chair? No, not in the slightest. Am I suggesting you do an hour of calls every morning, Tuesday to Friday? Yeah, for sure. An hour. That way you're not like, it's not like an albatross around your neck, It's manageable. So you do an hour of calls. That could be about 5, maybe 6 calls to prospective buyers or past clients or referrals, right? If you do just 5 or 6 every day, and you do it Tuesday to Friday, I don't do Monday morning because people are coming off a weekend. So if you did like 5, 6, 7 calls a day, 4 days a week, that's like, what, 25, 30 calls, close to that, right? Every week. And out of that, you're going to get appointments, you're going to get meetings, well, Zoom meetings, you're going to get maybe proposals to work on, and then those proposals will turn into sales. So it's not something you've got to do like in one fell swoop. Just do it even 3 days a week of committing to making an hour of calling to prospective buyers or new buyers. um, you watch the results. So, little baby steps, little wins go a long way. So, really important to hold on to your visual vision and for your business, your life, and visualize it daily. Just as past experiences impact your beliefs by what we just said, imagine if you have a new vision for the future. That can impact your beliefs. Prime yourself for success by taking a few minutes every day. So after today, I really, really want you to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes just to visualize everything going well. Visualize your success. Top salespeople do this. Pro athletes do this. Um, you know, Dancers, ballerinas, artists, they visualize, they see it, they feel it, and then they create it, right? So, write down. What I also encourage you to do is write down reasons you must take action. You must visualize and imagine the way you'll feel when you see your future in your mind. Imagine the feeling, the emotion, and give gratitude. Thank you so much. I now have sold, 100,000 chocolates, or I now have 10, admin clients and I'm doing work for. So see it in your mind's eye, visualize it, write it down, give thanks for it every day in your journal. Give thanks. Hey, I'm happy and grateful that I just got my 10th client, right? And just see it and visualize it and let the universe work. Never in a million years would I have ever seen myself teaching in February of 1999, not after going through what I went through, but sure enough, I hung on to that vision. You've got to do the actions. I have to make the ask. I saw an opportunity. It was a class that didn't work. Maybe I've got an idea for a class that might work, right? So you've got to do the same. And they've actually, real quick, they've done studies with pro basketball players. It was Dr. Blazzato was his name, and he really liked what the Chicago Bulls were doing. And the Chicago Bulls at the time had won I think they won a bunch of championships in a row, like 6. And that was when Michael Jordan was on the team and everything. And the coach was Phil Jackson. He was known as the Zen coach. And he would lead his team through a practice, but he would also have them meditate and visualize. Imagine, these guys 6'7" or 7 feet laying on the gym floor and visualizing and meditating, like home, But this Dr. Blazzato caught on to this, and he did a study with basketball players, and he divided them into 3 groups. And the first group didn't practice throwing free throws, nor did they visualize. The second group practiced. They practiced throwing free throws. The third group he took didn't practice, but they visualized. So here's what happened with that study, the power of visualization. So the first group that didn't practice nor visualize, they had an improvement rate of 0. The second group that practiced had an improvement rate of 23%. Not bad. The group that just visualized, didn't practice, had an improvement rate of 21%. The difference between those that practice and those that visualize their success was 2%. Pretty cool. So, where do your beliefs come from? Well, first of all, think differently. Visualize what you want. Act like your life depended on it. Do the 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You don't feel like going for a walk in the morning, but you know it's going to feel good and it's a nice way to start the day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put on the running shoes and go, right? You can come back and shower and brush your teeth later, right? You're not your limits or your beliefs. Remember, those are things, ideas that were formed by events, by environment, by what maybe a teacher said to you. Well, where are they now? Why are you still, they're taking up rent in your head and they're not even paying money, right? So you're not your limiting beliefs. Remember, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Let events kick you into gear. Do it just because. Let go of the past. Maybe you got to mourn it. Maybe you got to cry, hit a pillow. Just let it go and bless it. I write letters. They're not nice. And then I burn them. Oh, that feels good. Forgive your past too. Forgive yourself. Change the environment. Change the furniture in your home. Change your routine. Maybe change the paint. Change your clothes. Somehow do something so the new can come in. It really works. So I'm going to get you into mini breakout rooms for about 3 minutes. And what I want you to just discuss is, what is one part of your life you want to let go of? If you could create anything for your life, what would you do? And what's holding you back? So we'll have like maybe a 4-minute discussion, and we'll get you talking a little bit. And I'll just do 4 minutes, and then there's a 60-second countdown timer. Okay, so you don't have to come back all at once. You can come back close to that. So we have 2 rooms. So if you see an invite, say yes, and unmute yourself. And if you have a camera, open up your camera. So we've got 2 rooms, and you're going to discuss these questions. What is one part of your life that you want to let go of? If you could create anything in your life, what would you do? And what maybe is holding you back? All right. Thanks, Courtney. Have a really good day. So what's one thing that's holding you back? And we'll go into breakout rooms now. Okay, there we go. Everybody's been assigned. Except Lori Miller, not Lori Morian. I'll move her to, oh, she's in. Okay, everybody's good. How you doing there? Lori, you okay? No, you're on mute.
Sorry, I said this is really great. You've got me thinking of like different things, and I'm like, oh, see, I should go for that walk in the morning.
I'll go with you.
Yeah.
I had a snag like in April.
Yeah.
May. I wasn't doing much, and then I went, no, I got to get back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it always seems like the night before seems like, yeah, tomorrow morning, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up here and I'm going to do this. And then the morning comes and it's like,
yeah. But it was today, like it's cloudy out today, and the winds have died down. We were supposed to get like thunderstorms.
Okay.
And rain. I don't see the rain yet, but it looked like this. So this morning was still nice, but it started to get windy. So there's a cold pressure system.
Okay.
Coming in.
Yeah.
But so like here in Toronto, it was like 30 degrees yesterday. So by Friday, it's going to be like 13 and raining.
Oh wow.
I know.
Yeah, that's kind of like here. It was warm on the weekend, and then yesterday it cooled for a day, went to really warm yesterday, and then all week it's supposed to be like 10 or something like that. 9 tonight. It's going to feel like -2.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh. Yeah, for May. And with planting, you're supposed to be planting your flowers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, last year we were spoiled. I mean, last year, May and June were like July and August, right? And we hoped that that wasn't going to be our summer. And it turned out still nice July and August. But
Yeah.
this is like pretty much, I think, going back to normal days when the May long weekend you were excited about going and either it was raining or freezing.
Yeah. 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 And then, you know, everybody's planting and going to the garden centers.
Yeah.
So there's 50 seconds left in the breakout. So,
okay.
Yeah. So you let me know. Well, I can be your walking accountability partner, and I'll share that I went on a walk too.
Okay, sounds good.
And then let me know what you want next, okay? Like the price.
Yeah, for sure. I think that this sales one, I think would be definitely, or like not feeling guilty type of thing. Like, I think that's a good one. I don't think we had done that for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to go for it. And
yeah.
I always ask, like, what's your budget? And I ask the client rather than commit to a price.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because like I don't want to give my price away so fast because I want to focus on my value and what I'm bringing. Okay, now they're coming back.
Okay.
They're wrapping up the breakout rooms.
Okay.
I've got one more little mini breakout room. We'll finish. We should be pretty well on time.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Wow, good attendance too today, eh?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, I think that especially during these times too, you need to have these kind of webinars, you know what I mean, to get them back to, I mean, everybody handles things differently, right? So you need to.
Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to do this, I think, on May 6th, and then we
had to postpone. Yeah.
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 They worked out better.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all good. Okay, 7 seconds.
Okay, sounds good.
Stop. Watch your language now. Okay, welcome back, everybody. And Margarita, I see you now. So hello to you. Welcome back. So who'd like to share? Like, what's one part of your life you want to let go of? One belief.
I'll go. Perfectionism.
Okay. Yeah. And have you read Brene Brown at all, Sean?
No.
I recommend her books. I think Dare to Win or Dare to Be Great by Brene Brown. And she talks about the curse of perfectionism. And really what it's hiding is shame. Like we try to be perfect so that we don't get embarrassed by screwing up. And it's like, just own your screw up. Like, you know, like none of us are perfect. There's no perfect. I teach, you know, a business plan boot camp too, Sean. And you know, I teach a lot of entrepreneurs and but it's gotta be perfect. This has got to get me money. And it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect because like your business, it's going to change and your business plan is going to change with you. Right. So that's great.
Thank you.
Way to go. Thank you for sharing too, by the way, and good to see you. If you could create anything in your life, what would you do? Anything in your life? This is where we're moving to, I believe.
I would create a larger scale business than I have right now. One that's online and more international than right now. I have opened my business, but it's just a small office. But I want to let go of the fear of doing that, putting it out there, right? And being online, worrying about whether I'm going to be able to have the technology.
Yeah. Yeah. So baby steps, Margarita. I can't hear you now. So, there we go. Yeah. Baby steps.
Baby steps. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
They add up. I'm telling you. So what's holding you back? Like, who'd like to share? Maybe you have something you want to create, or there's a part of your life that you want to let go of. What holds you back? Who'd like to share that one?
I think what I want to create obviously is my business. I'm still at the very early stages, so I'm very passionate and I want to create it, of course. But what's holding me back, I think, is just fear of not being successful, of it not working.
Okay.
Very
And
scary.
yeah, and it is scary. And there's a possibility it might not work, but then there's a possibility it will work,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Remember what fear is: false evidence appearing real.
I find age is holding back. Just when the kids were young and I was in my early 30s, I did start my own business. Then I got hired by a corporation because I was doing services for corporate businesses, and jumped into things. I would take on things I knew nothing about, and I would learn it. I'd make mistakes. I'd find an answer and fix it before. Now it's like I'm afraid to make those mistakes for everybody. It's like
Yes.
trapped in this working 20 years for a corporate, and always now they know me. They know they knew I could do whatever it is they threw at me. I have to now sell myself, and I'm finding that I've learned everything they wanted, and I know how to do all these things to do for other people, but there's so many other ways to do it. And I want to know before I go to somebody. So I've actually been going through learning all these different things to do the same job, because I want to know before somebody talks to me. I don't want to say, let me get back to you. And I have to step back and try to remember, unfortunately to say, almost 30 years ago, because I'm at that age now where I want to set this up for retirement. Almost 30 years ago,
Yeah.
to say, you tell me, I'll figure it out. I don't care. And I feel like I'm on the other side of it now. I'm afraid to do that drive. I want to have the knowledge before I jump in.
Right.
And I don't know how that changed on me after all this time. It's like, what happened? I got to get that back. And I guess, this year I turned 60. So it's like, that's it feels daunting to go back to that.
Well, you can't go back, Deborah. You got to go forward.
No, to go back to having that drive.
Right. And so just be okay with who you are. Be okay not knowing. We don't have to know everything. There's a great book I recommend. I just lent it to a friend. It came out like in maybe August, September, and it's called Who, Not How. Who, Not How, by Coach Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And it talks about the importance of building a company where you, and especially now at 60, you don't have to do it all. You get other people to help you where you need help. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be perfect. You have to be real. People want authenticity. If you're not an expert in something, stick to what you're expert in and good in, and then get help where you're not so good. And this is the thinking in that book. That's what they're teaching you. And there's a really nice video interview with them and a guy by the name of Joe Polish, Polish. It was about an hour long, really good conversation about the book, Who Not How, with Dr. Hardy and Coach Dan Sullivan, who owns a Strategic Coach, which is based in the GTA. It's a Canadian company. So let go of that perfectionism. Let go of having to know everything and just be in the moment. And if you don't know, get help. There's people better at it than you.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That is okay.
Yeah. All right.
Can I just add something to that?
Please.
Because in our breakout room, I remember this exercise I did, which is good. And then I got reminded that it's a full moon and it would be a great time to do this exercise. And it's an exercise I did. I don't remember, it was another workshop, or I like to look at YouTube and I just take this all in. One of them was, it was again 2-page, all your accomplishments on one and all your let goes on the other one. And it could be, I regret doing this to my boyfriend, my mother, I got fired, everything that makes you angry and you still think of. That happened like 30 years ago. Who cares? Write everything down and then burn it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great exercise. And somebody mentioned, I believe it was Angie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Somebody in our group anyway, mentioned, it's a full moon would be a good time to do it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
write your intentions too. And your
Yeah.
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 Thanks, Carol. Now you also wrote in the chat that you're also a business advisor too, right? With Carol?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So you might want to connect with Carol because she's
Yeah. So
really-
anything, any questions, even just to chat for 15 minutes, bounce some ideas, I'm here.
Excellent. I like this about beliefs, this quote by Franz Kafka. He says, by believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is where whatever we have not sufficiently desired. And even Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich, his line is, when you reduce your ideas to writing, it becomes real. So when you take an idea and you write it on paper, and I use this quote when I teach the business plan boot camp I do. When you write your ideas down in your business plan, all of a sudden it becomes real. It's like, oh, I could do this. I could call 10 people. I could market this company. I could make these flowers. Whatever it is you want to do, it becomes real. So I like that quote. Did you like the breakout rooms?
Yes.
Yeah, because we've got one more. The other thing that's really important is watch your languaging. Sometimes our languaging defeats ourselves. Language is a vehicle and is the materialization of our convictions. It's full of words that are used in careless and imprecise ways. I often, teach entrepreneurs and they say, "Oh, I can't sell," or "I'm not creative," or I'm not good at this. And it's like, really? We're all creative. If you've got kids, you're creative because you had to, and you're also really good at negotiating because if you got kids, you probably negotiated with them when they were younger to get off to school, right? So watch the languaging, watch your words because your words can not only curse yourself but also others. So a careful review of the nature of words can generate essential reflections on the power they have over your beliefs and what we believe and how they affect our lives on all levels. So speak into your life what you want. Speak into other people's life encouragement, right? Unless they're pie in the sky, like, yeah, I'm going to go to the moon next year. Hey, you don't want to you want to diminish their dreams, but you also want to, that you want them to be real about it. So just watch your language. What will you say about yourself? And whenever you hear yourself, talk in a negative way about yourself, put an elastic on and pull it. And it'll remind you not to talk that way about yourself. Because it's not true, right? It really isn't. It's coming from some past. It's really important, too, to have trust. For your beliefs to take shape, you need to trust. Seeing is not believing, believing is seeing. So the fact that every belief is based on an element of faith, therefore it can't be entirely ruled out. That's why I like writing a business plan, because as I see it in my mind's eye, I see my idea take shape as I write a business plan. Or if I'm writing a marketing plan, or I have a new concept. And what I usually do is I have a journal. I'll just turn around here and get it. And I journal my ideas down. I have another little journal. I'm like the journal king. Dollarama loves me. So I write down ideas and things I get, here are my my intentions, right? And so journal, write down your ideas so that now it becomes real. So when it comes to the solidity of our beliefs, there's one common denominator, and that's write them down, uh, believe it before you see it, and act on it, take actions, and then you'll have confidence that things will come true. I'm just going to check the chat real quick. Okay, Sherry, thank you so much. Have a really good rest of the day. Thanks for coming. And yeah, so we're almost done. We're going to do one more breakout and then we'll wrap up. So remember, beliefs underlie everything. Your reality is based really on a collective agreement and a system of beliefs ranging from the most intimate and personal to group beliefs, countrywide beliefs, Regional beliefs. We believe in Canada that we're good Canadians. And the US, they're a little bit crass, right? These are beliefs. We have world beliefs. We have cultural beliefs, right? So if we think about these beliefs, they really have potential to move the world. So we need to maybe shift our beliefs in order to create a world we really want. So perhaps beliefs are even the fundamental engine of our species. I think they are. And I think a lot of um, the not so good things in the world that we see are come from our beliefs. So here's the last breakout room. We'll just do 3 minutes and then a countdown of 60 seconds. And this time you're going to just talk about what's one belief you had about yourself and somehow you found out it wasn't true. How did you overcome that? And what's one belief you want to change and what's one action you'll take to do that? So this is our last breakout room. Actually, I'll give you the 4 minutes, I think. I think we're going to need them. So we'll give you the 4 minutes. So what you're going to discuss is what's one belief you had about yourself, yet you found out it wasn't true. How did you overcome that? And what is one belief you want to change? And what's one action you'll do to start on changing it? So let's say it's like, yeah, I'm so tired in the morning, I don't feel like walking. So what's one thing you're going to do to change that belief? Okay, sounds good, fair. So let's go into breakout rooms and we'll come back and we'll wrap up. Here we go. Whoop. Get you into, yeah, everybody's in. Yeah, everybody's in. Okay. And then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
So what are you going to do? What's one belief about you?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So what's a belief you had and that you found it wasn't true, and how did you overcome it?
Like for me?
Mm.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I believe they had true. I can't think of anything right off that.
Okay, what's one belief you want to change, and what's one action?
Well, gosh, there's that.
I know there's a lot.
Right.
Sometimes.
Sorry?
Want me to share?
Yeah, sure. How about that?
Okay, and then you can chime in. So one belief I had about myself that I found out wasn't true. It's like your dreams can come true, or your goals can come true. You have to work at it, and so this is early 2000s, around 2002 or three, and I lost a job, right? And there I was, like unemployed, going, okay, what's next? I wasn't counting on this, right? So I took a create your vision workshop for a weekend at my hotel, and I created my vision. And the vision was I was going to start a radio show for small business, and I was going to have my own consulting training business. By August, so that was end of April. By August 17th, I did my first ever radio show. The show lasted 7 years.
Oh wow!
And it was like a blast. It barely made money because it was so new, and I didn't even work in I was in Durham region. I never even went to Durham region, but it happened. And then also by August, I had a nice training contract with Rexdale Microskills for with two programs they ran. One was the self-employment benefit program, and one was the women's entrepreneur program they had. Okay. And I also got, by the September, I got a a contract to be a trainer consultant with a training company. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then the belief I need to change is like good things don't happen to me.
If which? Sorry?
Things don't happen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just need to just reinforce a positive belief.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that was not even what you were planning to, that was like totally different from what you were doing. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. But these beliefs, I'm telling you, they can be showstoppers. They're
Yeah.
back in 23 seconds here.
Okay. Yeah, it's something that you certainly do need to, yeah, believe in things. I mean, it's one thing to think of things, right? But to actually take that next step and sort of put the plan in place, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and take action and I'll always sort of question that belief because it's just made up anyway, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Good. Some good learning. So anybody watching this as you're recording got to learn from us today. Okay, they're coming back. Welcome back, everybody, from your breakout room. Hopefully you made some new friends. Who would like to share what's one belief you had about yourself and somehow you found it wasn't true? What did you do to overcome it?
Well, I can share. One belief I had was that I wasn't good enough, so I had to extend myself way more. I had to always prove myself. I did way more and used so much energy doing extra, and it really wasn't valued. So, I really didn't change the outcome except that it depleted me. Actually, it might have even caused even less respect back from people. So,
How did you overcome it?
After losing a job where I was putting in tons of hours and my whole heart and soul, that's how I overcame it. Because actually that happened to me more than once, like 2 times, 10 years apart. So it made me realize, and then I started to see this pattern in my relationships too, and in my family. And so like kind of, hitting a rock bottom with it, almost like really having to sit back and look at myself and then, really heal that part of me. Go back and heal that belief that, that I am good no matter what I'm doing. It is just my birthright to be a good person, that I'm good. Right.
Margarita, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
And it takes time and you have to kind of work on that belief, right?
Yeah, I had to do deep work. It was tough lifting. Yeah, heavy lifting.
Yeah, here too. I had a toe injury, a toe infection, and it went into the bone a few years ago. And I was off work and I had to do inner work because the toe was sort of a symbol of what was going on inside. And I had to also alter a belief. So thanks for sharing that, Margarita. That's really amazing. Thank you. What is one belief you want to change, and what's one action you're going to take to do it? Who'd like to share that? Don't be shy. We all have this, by the way. If you think I'm the only one, you're not. We all run these programs and tapes, and it's like, okay, they're getting tired. Time to rewind them. So what's one belief you want to change, and what's one action you'll take? Anybody?
I'll go.
Yay.
One thing that I'm continuously working on right now is knowing that I do have something to say and saying it anyways, and still being respectful and honorable to people. But if I do have an opinion about something, I am working on sharing that. And if, whatever feedback I get, I take it, I look at it, and then I decide for myself, is it valuable to me? Is it going to add anything to me? Like, what's it going to do for me? And if I feel that, the feedback I get isn't going to add to me, then I'm practicing to let it go.
Yeah. And that's so important. And the other thing too, like in business, we're not going to please everybody. But the ones that we're going to please and make happy are the customers we want, right? So there, I teach a workshop on niche markets, and it's like you can't do business with everybody. You want to do business with people that get you, and you get them, and then you build from there, right? So, I remember working with a woman in the work I do now in training, and we always handed out, we call them happy sheets at the end of a workshop. And so maybe we had 30 people in the class, but there were maybe 3 or 4 that weren't thrilled with her workshop. And that would always get her. And I went, wait a minute, look at the 3 or 4 and what are they saying and learn from it and adjust. But you had 26 that were favorable. Why don't you focus on that? Right? She always focused on the negative and got really bummed out. And I said, learn from that. Look at all the positives you had. There's a lot more people liked you than didn't like you. So thank you, Sam, and thank you, everybody. So we're done. Did you learn something today? Do you feel like you can, start to meditate and visualize and think of, new beliefs? I hope. Yeah. Put in the chat. Yes. This is where you get a hold of me if you want to work with me. I do coaching and training. And I love working with Taro. And thank you so much. This summer, may you have health, success, and love in your life. And love could be loving your work, loving your life, loving your business. So thank you so much. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Margarita. Thanks, Sean, and everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, it was. Thanks, Carol. I want to stay in touch with you, so you email me. Thanks, Angie and Andrea. Yeah, we could do 2 hours on this, but yeah. Anyway, Carol.
Yeah.
So please email me because maybe I might have some people to connect with, or maybe we could do some.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I guess Lori would have your email, right, Lori?
Yeah, and
Yeah, for sure. Or or I could send it to you, Carol.
Yeah.
Either
Oh,
one.
there it
So
is.
You got it? Yeah.
All right, take a screenshot of it.
There you go.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, David, for this valuable and information that you provided and got everybody thinking. We really appreciate it. And as always, it's great to have you present, and we look forward to the next time.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And if you have any other ideas that you would like, please, feel free to reach out, David. Maybe we could get, back presenting again. So thank you, everybody. And thanks again, David. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lori. Thanks, everybody. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. See you.